main referral hospital from November 2020 to November 2021.
If you look through the data from those months, number of people involved in an accident per month that had to come to the hospital was about an average of about 120 to 130 every month. And of those, the ones we class as serious injuries, someone who needs to have an admission or have an operation, it was averaging about 80 to 90 people every month. We had about 18 deaths a month, going up to 20. One of the highest months was 27 deaths, which was December 2020.
The results of road traffic accidents have brought about high level of mortality and life-changing injuries for victims, most of whom are from the youth population of the country.
And as big as the deaths are, we have to remember the disability that's caused by the ones who didn't die but still have serious injuries. And that's approaching 100 people every month. These are often young people, often male. So in our society, these will be the breadwinners, the future of the society, the ones who are going to contribute a lot to the economy of the society.
Road traffic injury, being a significant cause of death and disability, generates economic losses of over $2 billion each year through treatment costs, loss of productivity, and ongoing pain and suffering. This is 5 times more than the 2021 budget line items for the Agriculture Ministry and most ministries. According to statistics from the Interior Ministry, the Gambia registered 2,219 road accidents from 2018 to 2021. The Health Ministry had added road traffic accidents to the list of non-communicable diseases that are significantly affecting the population.
We know that globally, and we, looking at our statistics, we're no different in Gambia, that if you look at deaths from HIV, TB, and malaria combined, road traffic accidents is higher. And if you look at the statistics in the Gambia, it is not going to be much different. Just to put it into context, over the same period that I was collecting the data, that November to November 1 year period, which was also the height of COVID, there were more deaths from RTAs in that period than there were from COVID. And you see the amount of attention that COVID got, but you don't see that same attention going towards RTAs.
Given the dire situation that road traffic accidents have become, and they are contributing more to morbidity and mortality more than most diseases in the country, some believe that it has reached the level where it should be declared a public health emergency by the Health Ministry. Here are the responses to this concern from the Health Minister and Dr. Marina.
Yes, so stakeholders are meeting. There have been a series of consultations, and hopefully very soon you will hear from the ministry with regards to the state of road traffic accidents in this country.
So I think it needs something like that. It needs to be declared an emergency of some proportion for us to start addressing it in the way it needs to be addressed. That's my view.
In a bid to respond to the worsening situation of road traffic accidents across the country, the Ministry of Health has identified locations to station ambulances along the highway for timely emergency response. In addition to this, the Health Minister, Dr. Ahmad Lamin Samate, reveals a plan for the establishment of a trauma hospital.
So we are in the process of setting up a trauma hospital. A trauma hospital where road traffic accident victims can be seen within a short period and be given the best of care. And the stakeholders are discussing, and we have potential funding for that, so that we have a well-established trauma hospital in this country.
The Gambia's road traffic safety strategy has the ambitious vision of reaching zero fatalities or injuries by 2030. However, WHO projections show a significant worsening in road traffic fatalities between 2015 and 2030. The Gambia was at 4th position in the WHO's 2018 global ranking of road traffic accidents. 4 years on from that ranking, as we continue to record a staggering number of road accidents, there is the possibility of being in the top 2 in the world for these unwanted statistics. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Unfortunate situation. Now, the newly appointed Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, accompanied by his ministry's senior management team, embarked on a familiarization tour to institutions under his remit on Monday. Ahmad Pijala accompanied the minister and prepared this report.
The purpose of the visit is to give the minister the opportunity to meet heads of institutions under his ministry, to get first-hand information through his interaction and discussions with them on challenges and constraints confronting them and how to remedy them. In welcoming the minister at the Gambia College, the principal and vice principal Boubacar Jallo and Madam Aissatou Ndaw respectively both expressed delight at the minister's appointment, saying he is a veteran educationist with a wealth of experience to address some of the challenges they face. While highlighting various challenges facing the college, they both call on the government through the Higher Education Ministry to invest more in education, particularly teacher training, to enhance quality education.
As an institution, you are aware that we are also set to transform into the teacher education university of this country, because our strength as an institution is in teacher education. And that transformation agenda is something that would require a lot of funding and commitment, both from us and from government.
We all are aware that in the Gambia, the Gambia College is the main teacher training institution, training from ECD to lower secondary. And as a result, when the quality of education in the mainstream Gambia is poor, then fingers would be pointed at the Gambia College. So I think in that area we will need support.
Responding to their concerns, the minister expressed appreciation for the warmth of his welcome. He informed them that his mission is to accomplish the government's plans for the higher education sector as prescribed in the National Development Plan, and assured them of his ministry's support to address their concerns and challenges.
So we will do our best. And history will never forgive me if we now allow Gambia College to deteriorate and be watching while occupying high office out there. That's not the time. We are not here to be drinking tea.
From the Gambia College, the minister and delegation proceeded to the University of the Gambia Faraba Banta campus. The team were then taking on a conducted tour of the new campus, which is under construction. The tour will continue on Monday with visits to UTG Kanifing campus, MDI, GTTI, NACA and other institutions under the remit of the Higher Education Ministry. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Still on the familiarization tour of institutions under the remit of his ministry, the newly appointed Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, on Wednesday visited the University of the Gambia's Faraba Banta campus that began construction in 2016 and is now scheduled for completion in October 2022. Here's Omar P. Jallo again.
The project is being implemented by the Indian infrastructure giant, Sapoji Palonji, with 5 major financing bodies, namely OPEC, Badia, the Islamic Development Bank, Kuwaiti and Saudi Funds for Development, boosting government efforts towards the realization of the project. However, the construction of the modern state-of-the-art campus, comprising 6 faculties and other facilities, has not been completed for various reasons. In October 2016, Sapoji Palonji Engineering and Construction Company was appointed as the construction contractor on a $104 million contract for the project. Construction work are underway since then, with completion scheduled for September or the latest October 2022. Here is Praveen Goel, the project manager of Sapoji Palonji.
It will be a difficult task, but we will try our best. Time going forward, moving forward, we will achieve this lot 1, and we are committed to completing the lot 2 also, and we will put all the efforts and focus, and we will try our best to complete lot 1 and then move forward to the lot 2.
The newly appointed Higher Education Minister, Professor Per Gomez, inspected the campus to ascertain the level of progress on construction work and to discuss issues of concern with management of the university and the contractors.
Every time it is postponed. Every time it is postponed. 2022 should be over. Yes, we should not go to 2023 with this project. We do something else. We need to think about other projects for 2023. So that's the message that I wanted to share with you, because the students, the staff, and the Gambian people expect more from us. And there is no explanation that we're going to give if we do not provide this come September, October.
The government is now focused on fast-tracking the construction work for the completion this year. Once completed, it is expected to greatly enhance the conducive learning environment needed for the university students and staff. The project is in 2 phases. Lot 1, which is a $37 million, is already secured, and based on its success, the donors will provide an other loan facility for the realization of Lot 2. The Lot 1 project involves the construction of the School of Business and Public Administration, the School of Arts and Sciences, the School of Information Technology, the School of Education, a library, faculty buildings, married villa and access roads. Lot 2 comprises of the Faculty of Law, Faculty of Agriculture, Chancery Building and external works at the 74,973 meter square campus on 80 hectares of land in Fraba Banta. It is expected that once completed, the UTG campus will set a new standard of excellence in the Gambia, and that its environmental profile will serve as an important educational tool for students. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Looking forward to its completion. Now we will go for a short commercial break, and when we return, we have more local and sports news to do. Stay tuned.
2022 loolu laa wax de man waaw kay boo gisee nag ñu di ko waajal depuis léegi dañoo bëgg nag yokku cere dolli ñeex li ko war a nag QTV dañu bëgg saa yu ñuy def dara képp ku ci nekk rek gis ci sa bopp moo war a nag this time ñu bëgg koo yokku nag yaatal ko nag géew bi nag dañu ko yaatal ba mu yaatu lool ba tax ñu ngi woo designers yépp ci biir réew mi waaye yow mi nekk sax bitim réew bëgg ñu wane nag say product jokkal ak QTV da ci am solo nag bu baax a baax ba tax nag ki nga xamante ne piis lay jaay ci marché bi bëgg naa wane ay piisam ak ay xeetu piis di mu yor ñëwal ci biir Tobaski ak Style 2022 moom la ñuy waajal xanaa war naa neex dama ne nag kaay leen ngeen won ma seen mënin ma wax leen seeni cumbukaay ba tax nag jokkoo leen ak ñun ci nu mu gën a gaawee ci 32 44 44 4 ak QTV ak Tobaski ak Style yéen ñi rek ñu tax roo yow rek ci jongoma cey
Q Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Now, the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, MAJAC, with support from USAID and Freedom House on Thursday, held the official opening of 5 weeks intensive training for 20 journalists on ethical journalism. And Sumane Sonyasi has the rest of that.
Journalism, like every other profession, is guided by principles. They are standards that help us address how we achieve fairness, handle conflicts of interest, and how we pursue stories with compassion and empathy. To instill these essential principles in young and aspiring reporters, the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, with support from Freedom House and USAID, is organizing 5 weeks intensive capacity building training on ethical journalism for a selected group of young reporters under the theme Strengthening Ethical Journalism for Journalists. The training is part of several interventions currently being rolled out by Freedom House to empower the media and strengthen rights and access to justice in the Gambia. Mohamed Esba, President of the Gambia Press Union, and Sambaba, Acting Managing Director of MAJAC, underscored the importance of ethical journalism and the need for such training, especially for young reporters. They commend USAID and Freedom House for supporting this important training program.
The role journalism plays in creating positive impact in our society cannot be overemphasized. because as journalists, we help in the rapid creation of awareness to the public, and we also create platforms for people to shape their views and clearly state their opinions, which as a result promotes divergent and dissenting opinions.
I urge the participants to take the training rather seriously, and then put more power on their elbows to make sure that the goals of this training are achieved.
They also urge media workers to acquaint themselves with the GPU Code of Conduct and the Chorojalo Charter on Ethics. By Emil Toure, Executive Director of the Media Council of the Gambia, and Demba Kande of Freedom House implored participants to take the training seriously and expressed hope that the training will have a major impact on their daily reports. Meanwhile, they also expressed concern with the rise in hate speech, which they say is sometimes amplified by the media, and thus urge media practitioners to always remain ethical.
Sometimes it is not because people want to commit these ethical gaffes. It is because they do not know. And because since they do not know, there is a likelihood that they will do these things unknowingly. Therefore, rather than criticizing them or chastising them on a daily basis, there is a need to engage them and build their capacity. And when their capacities are built, it will reduce the complaints we will receive at the Media Commission.
We will encourage you to share whatever you learn with your colleagues in the newsroom, with your colleagues in the field, and ensure that you replicate the skills, the sort of skills transfer from you to your colleagues in the newsroom and out there. We hope that at the end of this program, that the media landscape would change. I know this is a limited number, we have 20 people, but we have other plans to train more people in the near future.
The project supporting this intensive 5 weeks program, funded by the U.S. government and implemented through Freedom House, hopes to enable, amongst other things, equip journalists with the skills required to handle ethical dilemmas in the newsroom, identify the basic tenets of journalism ethics, and ethical issues in news gathering. Ansumane Sonyasi for QTV News.
Now, 3 young men charged with attempted murder and assault causing grievous bodily harm after an incident in which 2 boys were put through a dreadful ordeal in Mandinari village have appeared at the Brikama Magistrates Court and denied some of the charges. More in this report by Babukar Sise.
The alleged perpetrators, Yaya Gassama, Abba Demba and Amadou Bailo Jallo, appeared at the Brikama Magistrate Court on Wednesday. The trio pleaded guilty to assaulting victims Lamin Kanyi and Mohamed Dambele, causing grievous bodily harm, but denied count 1, that of attempted murder. According to Inspector Aliu Jamanka, the Assistant Police spokesperson, the incident happened on the 3rd of May 2022 at Mandinari village, when the Regional Police Task Force received a tip-off about an incident in which 2 boys were being held hostage by a gang led by one Yaya Gassama. The victims, Lamin Kanyi and Mohamed Dambele, were allegedly stripped naked and put into a 4-meter deep well covered with grass and set alight. Having survived that ordeal, the victims were then led through the swamps to a river and allegedly thrown into the water to drown. When the police task force arrived at the scene, the suspects were arrested, including the ringleader Yahya Gassama, who was apprehended as he tried to flee into the muddy swamps. The other suspects were subsequently arrested at their homes at around 3 a.m. the following day. The case has been adjourned to Thursday, the 19th of May 2022 for sentencing of Yaya Gassama, Abba Demba and Amadou Bailo Jallo on count 2, which they pleaded guilty to, of assaulting and causing grievous bodily harm. The hearing for count 1, that of attempted murder, will continue. The Gambia Police Force are urging the public not to take the law into their own hands.
From that story by Babukar Sise, now let's take a look at what is happening in the world of sports. The CAF Champions League 2021-2022 season saw the final 4 teams in semi-finals first leg clashes. Defending champions Al Ahly took an Algerian side, ES Satif, while 2-time champions Wydad Club came up against Petro de Luanda. More in this report.
Angola's Petro de Luanda and Morocco's Wydad Athletic Club can't seem to escape each other. The teams met in the group stages of this season's competition, with Wydad winning the most recent encounter 5-1 to confirm their place on the top of the group. In the group match in Angola, Petro had edged it 2-1, their first ever victory over Wydad. Overall, in 6 meetings, Wydad have been the better side, winning 4, losing once and drawing once. One of those victories being their 1-0 victory in last season's Champions League in Luanda. And of course, there's no doubt which team has the stronger Champions League pedigree. Wydad were champions in 2017 and runners-up in 2019. Furthermore, they have reached the semis 6 times in the last 7 seasons. However, Petro felt confident going into the match, having eliminated pre-tournament joint favourites Mamelodi Sundowns in the quarter-finals. However, they were unable to maximise home advantage and get a favourable result ahead of next weekend's return trip to Casablanca. Wydad were utterly dominant and romped home 3-1 winners. Petro's star forward, Brazilian Thiago Azulão, top scorer in this year's Champions League with 6 goals, seemed to have left his scoring boots at home and failed to find the net. The other tie, between Al Ahly of Egypt and ES Satif of Algeria, was expected to be a much closer affair, but proved to be anything but. Title holders Al Ahly of Egypt haven't had the most spectacular run-in in the Champions League this season, but have nonetheless gotten this far and cannot be disregarded as they seek to win a historic 3rd consecutive title. Ahly have a brilliant semi-finals record, having won 11 of their 12 matches in the last 4 stages going into this match. Now, we can make that 12 wins out of 13. Their experience told, as they capitalised on home advantage and swept Satif aside, winning 4-0, with South African Percy Tau putting in a man-of-the-match performance, scoring twice and providing 2 assists. Despite their poor run into this stage, Ahly, the team which calls itself Africa's Team of the Century, appears to be on course for yet another final. In fact, they are so confident they have formally asked for the final to be moved to what they say is a neutral venue, not the rumoured Morocco, which of course would give an advantage to Wydad, who also appear to have taken a giant stride to the final with their fine win away in Angola. At the time of this report, there has been no formal response from governing body CAF to Al Ahly's request. Nonetheless, we look forward to some exciting ties in the return legs this coming weekend. For QTV News, I am Adi Darami.
From that story, let's recap our main headlines. As traffic accidents claim more casualties on our roads, we heard a call that the time has come for this to be declared a public health emergency. The Higher Education Minister has been on a familiarization to various establishments. We first report on his visit to the Gambia College. The Gambia Education Minister's next stop was at the under-construction University of the Gambia Faraba Banta campus. 3 young men charged over an attempted murder case, which has shocked the nation, have appeared in court over the charges. And in sports news, as the African Champions League heads towards a climax, we hear about the teams that have taken huge strides following impressive semi-finals first leg results. Well, those were all right. It seems I'm about to take you back to the top, but I will not allow that. So we will just get to end this news bulletin here. So join us for more news.